Hello, you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here. Today well, first of all, there's been a lot of negativity spurring around with the Need for Speed game, the new Need for Speed game that's come out. It's really hit or miss with a lot of people, and I honestly didn't expect it to be like that. But today, I basically want to give my opinions and my thoughts on the game as of far. I mean, I gave it first impressions, but still, we were in the honeymoon phase, and we still kind of are. I mean, with the game, it just came out like a week ago. But I still want to give my personal thoughts and some good things in the game and some bad things in the game as well, and stuff that's in between. So yes, without further interruptions, let us begin. So I'm going to put my fanboyism to a side for a bit for this video. I mean, still, I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with this game. It's the best Need for Speed game we have seen in years. But every game comes with its problems, of course. And today I'm going to discuss what's good with the game, what's okay with the game, and what's bad with the game. Now, first off, I'm going to start with the good, go into the okay, and then the bad. The good. The return of customization. The customization may not be the biggest we've seen in a Need for Speed game, but as of right now, it's one of the best we've seen in a Need for Speed game. And I'm not being a fanboy at all. I mean, this is the first Need for Speed game where we can put on wheel offset. Might be the first one we can put on camera. I'm not too sure about that. You might be able to with mods or in Underground 2. I'm not too sure, because I remember seeing cars in Underground 2. I don't know. Whatever. It's easy to put camber. What else is here? Freaking, like, real body kits. They're actually using, like, real part body kits and stuff, like, made by real things in real life. Made by real things in real life. That makes a hell of a lot of sense. But yes, there's a lot of customization options in the new Need for Speed game. Lower the ride height easily. Like, the exhaust, you can change it to a fart cannon. I mean, that's always fun. There's, like, it's really hard to explain how much there is. But for some cars, there is a bit of, like, disappointment. Like with the Honda Civic, there aren't as many parts for it as I thought there were. But still, it's great to see customization on a huge scale back in the Need for Speed game. And I have spent, like, hours in my garage just fine-tuning and making everything perfect for my cars. I know that sounded like a real, weird ramble, but whatever. It's only 11 in the morning. I'm still kind of tired. The atmosphere, the always not the always online, the always online is trash, but what's it called, the day, how it's always nighttime in the city, where you're illegally street racing, blah 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 blah, nighttime, cops after you. Oh my god, it's a true underground experience, if I were to say so myself. It really feels like an underground, that you are racing in this underground, seedy underworld at night. Except all the characters are nice to you. That's one of the main differences from Underground. Just the atmosphere of racing in the city, inner city, or in the canyons at night. Oh my god, I'm getting some real Initial D feelings when I'm racing in the canyons with people. Oh my god. And then in the Underground city, it feels like a Fast and Furious. The first one, like, oh my god. This is everything we've wanted so far. This is basically Underground 3, Underground Tree, whatever you want to call it. Underground 3, but without the Underground name. The atmosphere in this game is great, and it's really one of the things that keeps me in the game, because it just feels so amazing. And it feels like, and it's representative of today's car culture. I mean, people aren't street racing in the day, you're street racing at night. I mean, hey. The car list. Now, the car list may be a bit disappointing for people, but of course there's more to come. This isn't the final car list as of right now. More is going to come, obviously, in the content updates and stuff. But the car list range pretty much has something there for everyone. And the 5-car limit, I was really critical of this at first, but I can see why they put it in, is to add more value to your car. Well, it doesn't matter if you have a Honda Civic, NSX, or a Lamborghini Murcielago. 5-car limit. If you don't have those cars, automatically makes those cars have more value, because not everyone in the game's gonna have the same car as you. Because yeah, like, I would like to see the car limit upgraded a bit to like 7, like, or like have 2 extra spots for the 2 for extra cars that you may gain along the way in the career. Because I gained a car from a story mission. And spoiler alert, but I had to sell one of my cars to actually use it, so there's that. But also, the car list in this game is great. There's and it's smaller than, like, say, Forza. I hate when people compare it to Forza. It's smaller to a game like Forza because there's an ass load of customization for each of the cars except the Ferraris. But we'll get into that a bit later. The amount of events in this game, there are a lot of events in this game, way more than what we have seen in years. Maybe not as much as Carbon or Most Wanted or Underground, but there's a lot more variety than Underground 1, I'll say that much. There's like 3 or 4 different type of drift events, a sprint race event, time trial, and a circuit, and they're all spread around the city. And there's a lot of them and a lot of variety. And plus there's always the spontaneous races you can do with other people driving around. You can challenge them to an outrun, you can challenge them to a sprint race, or I'm pretty sure it's a drift battle as well. So yes, the amount of variety in this game so far is great. And the drift events all have their own variety. There's Gymkhana, there's drift trials, there's drift battles, there's Toge, and then there's oh shit, there's like 5. And then there's and then Drift Train, Choo Choo. The cheesiness of the cutscenes. Now, this is something IGN complained about for some stupid reason. But if you have played a Need for Speed game in the past, one with a story, you know that it is cheesy as hell, excluding the run. Even that was kind of cheesy. Ugh. Yeah, I'm still stuffy and stuff. But the cheesiness in the game, it's one of the most cheesiest Need for Speed games I've ever seen. Like Most Wanted, Underground, those games were cheesy as shit. Carbon, oh my god. But Need for Speed, just the cutscene. The easiest way to explain, I know I'm rambling a lot here, but the easiest way to explain it is that they're so bad. The cutscenes are so bad that they're so good. I mean, that's what Need for Speed is. It's always, the stories are always cheesy. It's basically every racing game ever. So the fact that they didn't even try this time and just made it cheesy off the bat is just, it's great. I'll say that. And also, last 2 things are no paid DLC and no microtransactions for the future. I really don't need to explain that. There are no microtransactions in this game, as well as no paid DLC so far. So that's great. Now moving on to the OK. 7 minutes in, but whatever. Moving on to the OK. The cars in the FMVs do look a bit photoshopped in. I'll say that. Like in the first cutscene where you get to pick the 3 cars, obviously it looks fine, but the rest of the way it just kind of looks like your car's just photoshopped in there. I mean, it's a good start. This is probably like the first game that has done this kind of thing. I'm not too sure on that, but for a first attempt, this just shows that technology needs to progress a little bit further. But it's a cool attempt. It doesn't like take away anything from the game though. The handling can be a bit hit or miss, however you can still fine-tune your handling to your liking, and if done correctly you can get a mad handling setup. Like, one thing people have been complaining about is the handling, and yes, while I do think it's a bit hit or miss, you can still fine-tune it to what you prefer, and that can actually get rid of a lot of the problems with a handling tune. You just gotta find what the proper handling tune for your car is, and what's right for you. There's also an awkward day-night cycle, the way it's not even a day and night cycle, it's just certain parts of the city are preset to be a certain time of night. Like in the northern mountains it's supposed to be twilight, and then in the inner city, in the docks, it's supposed to be like dead of night, like midnight. And then in Franklin Terrace, in the canyons near Franklin Terrace, it's supposed to be what's it called? It's supposed to be dawn. So, like, if you're going from one part to the other, it just automatically goes to dawn. You can see it, and it's really awkward. But again, it doesn't take anything away from the game. That's something that IGN complained about, and they took score off. So, I don't know why they did that, but whatever. And there are some customization glitches, like some exhaust pipes kind of sticking through a body kit, and stuff like that. And the fact that we can't mirror. It's not really a glitch, but they're going to be adding this in before, Christmas. I'm pretty sure that's what they said on Twitter. But the option to mirror your cars is missing, but they're going to be adding that in very shortly. And now we're going to move on to the bad. And there are a few outstanding problems with this game. But then again, a lot of games have problems, but there are a few that I feel were overlooked and that they could fix hopefully in the future. The first being the constant phone calls. The fact that people call you every 5 seconds and there's no way to turn it off, just ugh. I mean, the phone calls weren't really needed, to be fair. I mean, they're cool, But like just the fact that you don't have the option to mute them in game or something like that, it's just I'm not a big fan of the phone calls. And the fact like when we're trying to do stuff and all the protagonists keep calling you to do stuff, blah blah blah. Like, nah, I don't like that. The poor amount, like there's even the option to replay phone calls in the messages option, and the fact that protagonists call you 3-4 times before. Yeah, like, just have them maybe call once, and if you want to hear them talk again, just go into your messages and click replay. Like, simple as that. No need to have the protagonist call you every 10 minutes to remind you that you have to go do components parts! Which is a terrible race, I'll say that. Alright. The constant, the bad frame rate issues on Xbox One. Now, this has to do probably with the Xbox One more than the game itself. Oh my god, I'm still sick. But, on the Xbox One, there are a lot of stuttering and freezing issues on Xbox One, and they still need to be ironed out, because on PS4 it doesn't really have those issues, but on Xbox One there are, and still, yeah, they still need to fix that. The poor amount of customization on Ferraris. Now again, this isn't Ghost's fault, this isn't EA's fault, this is basically Ferrari's fault, because Ferrari doesn't like people customizing their cars a whole lot. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's Ferrari's fault. Like, there's no way getting around that. That's Ferrari's word. They only license the cars. That's why there aren't any body kits or anything out for it, or any legal licensed body kits for that, to be fair. And of course, another one, the always online. Now, I've yet to see the benefits of the game being always online. To be fair, I've yet to see them, because right now, yes, you can connect to people in your world and stuff, but it's supposed to leave on that you're always online, you're always in a world with people, which again, I don't see the benefits. The benefits do not outweigh the bad things of this game, and when the game goes down for maintenance or the servers go down, you can't play your game at all, and, yeah. I don't think, like, if they can bring out a offline patch in the future, then yes, but I don't think they can at this time. Like, since the game's already out and stuff, I doubt that they can bring one out. But it would be cool to see, because connection issues, sometimes people can't even log in, it takes forever to log in, blah blah blah. Even though it's dedicated servers, that kind of takes away some of the problems, but still, a lot of problems still persist with always online, and it's not a really good thing to have in a game. Having the ability to play offline is better than having a world with people always coming in and leaving your game. It's better than the effects of all drive, I'll say that much. I'd rather play offline than through like all drive, blah blah blah. Now again, this one doesn't really take away the enjoyment of the game, but it is pretty damn annoying. It's the grainy filter. It doesn't really happen for me everywhere in the game, but the grainy filter is just yeah. One thing I forgot to add to this thing, but I want to mention quickly, is the rubber banding. The rubber banding, of course, is not as bad as it was in the beta. I'll say that much. Oh my god, that was bad. But the rubber banding in this game, especially on components parts, is terrible. I would like to see some tweaking with the rubber banding in the AI some more. I mean, every Need for Speed game up to this point has had rubber banding, but this is some of the worst I've seen in a Need for Speed game, to be fair. The rubber banding, it's just, But yeah. And one thing I also want to point out is this one kind of, I lumped these two together, lackluster party settings. And what do I mean by this? Like, when you're partying up with your crew or something, you don't have the option to go into a private game. And there's no option to kick people from your crew if they join, like, before you can set it to private crew. These are two options I would like to see for better partying control, better lobbying stuff with your crew. There just aren't enough options to to party with your crew. There's not really enough to shit, what I was gonna say. There aren't enough like options to help us like weed out people who are just gonna troll, basically. Like me, Cam, like Niner and Jay, we were all trying to do like these drift battles where two of us would set like a waypoint, like a gate, and then we would have to drift through, and then the people making the gate would have to. That's a really terrible explanation of what we're doing, but still, would judge who drifts better. And we were doing that at different like parking lots and stuff, and then people just started coming and ramming us, and I mean, one guy did come and he was cool and he just like sat there and watched, but most of the time when people came, they just started ramming us, the gate. Like, one guy even brought the cops, like, and started just driving around, like, ugh. So the option to kick people and the option to set up private lobbies, I would like to see in this game. Anyway, guys, that's basically all for this. I really enjoy this game a lot, and hopefully when the honeymoon period comes out, I'll still be enjoying this game, because right now this game is still a hell of a lot of fun, despite all the problems it has. And honestly, I can't wait for the future content updates to bring out more patches, fixes, and stuff. Hopefully most of these problems will be fixed soon. But anyway, guys, that is all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not already, don't forget to rate, comment, favorite, subscribe for more Need for Speed 2015 news, gameplay, blah, 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 etc. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one.